start with what you have.
Yeah.
Whether it's 5,000 or 2,000, whatever you have, just start that, and then with discipline every month, whatever you get, just put in a certain amount. As they say, pay yourself.
Pay
first.
yourself first.
Pay yourself first.
Pay
Yeah.
yourself first.
So just put a certain amount,
Yeah.
and with the discipline, and you will see. You'll be very surprised with how with years to come,
Yeah.
how it does, the amount, the investment keeps on working for you. Yeah. Nabo Capital asked for the
school
in terms
fees.
of the school fees that I'm paying to the school.
Yes.
And I gave them an outlook of, and they were able to foretell based on the inflation and other factors,
Yes.
that this is the amount that you need to, that you can put in every month.
Yeah.
And they gave me a 10-year plan
Yeah.
of how the outlook would be based
Yes.
on my contributions
Yes.
and the interest, that the compound interest that
Yeah.
the plan is making.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I looked at that, it was very impressive, and it's not just, some companies will give you but it's actual fact. You'll see even it surpasses
Yes.
what is in
what
the
was in the
document,
plan?
the plan,
What
in,
is
the,
in
in,
the plan?
the, in the agreement that we
Yeah.
signed. So that is very impressive, which means the money is going to
That's true.
the investment is being done very well.
No, we always try to outperform
Yes,
what we have put on paper.
yes,
Because the future is the future, and you don't know what is coming tomorrow.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. But I think it's a good point also, because people get confused. Education policy versus education plan, and maybe it's a good point for me to clarify now. Insurance is there to take care of your risks.
Yeah,
So an education plan, education policy is there to take care of that risk.
that is.
Should maybe someone die before the before the kids finish school, the education policy will kick in very, very well.
Yes.
You've never paid anything from your education policy yet.
No.
That
haven't.
you've not started receiving
Haven't
contributions.
received, yeah. Next year is when it's supposed to
start giving
go
you
to fruition.
liquidity.
Yes.
So that's why an education policy comes in.
Yes.
It takes care of that risk, and then they've also turned it into sort of some form of investment where, if you see through a long beyond a certain point in time, you can start receiving some cash flows
Yes.
out of it. But again, it is guaranteed. So if you compare an education policy and an education plan, education policy, the effective interest compounding rate is much lower than an education investment plan.
Yes, exactly.
So your money is growing at a much slower rate.
Yes.
But it's because they're guaranteeing you.
Yes.
They're guaranteeing you.
There's a fixed kind of a
Yes.
fixed rate for.
Yes.
Yes.
So an education investment plan is really driven by you.
Yes.
How much you put into it, how much you pump into it, it will also service you the same
way.
The same way. But
The
also
same
it will give you all the economic risks and rewards of it.
Yes.
So if you earn 12%, you will still earn 12% on your education
On the
investment
education plan.
investment plan, because it doesn't have those guarantees. So that's a good clarification for people who are listening out there, because a question that I get quite often.
Yeah.
So what's when you think about 3 years since we started this,
Yeah.
and you're saying your experience has been stress-free. What you enjoy most is stress-free. When you see those school fees structures being sent
Yes.
from on email,
On email.
you don't start having heart
Don't get
palpitations.
Yes.
You
yes,
quickly
yes.
send an email. I normally see those
And I say,
emails.
"Pius, please."
And I see
Yeah.
Pius is copied.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, team, to Nabo, the whole Nabo, for you, to you, Pius, and the whole Nabo. You're very professional.
Yeah.
You work with utmost integrity, and I must say, anybody out there, I would really highly recommend Nabo for this. Yeah. It's very efficient.
Yeah.
And you work with speed. it's been. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah. I think there are some takeaways we can make for the people who are listening.
Yes.
And number one is what? What is your first takeaway?
My first takeaway is just start with whatever you have. Don't make it so complex. Just keep it simple. Start with what you have. Whether it's 5,000 or 2,000, whatever you have. Just start that, and then with discipline every month, whatever you get, just put in a certain amount. As they say, pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. So just put a certain amount with the discipline, and you will see. You'll be very surprised with how with years to come, how it does, the amount, the investment keeps on working for you.
And there's an important point here. When we speak to 10 people as NABO about investing with purpose, and you look at all the needs that a human being tends to face, 9 out of 10, they tell us their most pressing pain point is education. Education for their children. So you never even cared about your retirement. You were like, Pius, if I can sort out my children's education, I'll be 50% there. So maybe that's another very important insight, that education is the number one human pain point.
All families, you always want the best for your kids. You want them to have a better, if your level of education was at this, you want them to have a better education
than yourselves,
even for than yourselves, and let them have better lives and transformations of their lives. So for that's where now this education plan comes in, and it will help in terms of fulfilling that dream. So it's the number one thing. I'm sure
number one goal of any family.
Yes, out there is education. They want the best for their kids.
So education is the number one pain point. Number one pain point for any family, because you want your kids to have a better future than even ourselves. That's our legacy. That's the gift that we give to the future generation. So if that is the case, then number 2 point is that you must have an education investment plan.
Yes, very important. And that's where you need a partner who has the same vision as you. And for me, I believe NABO, I thank God, NABO guided me. God guided me to NABO, and the journey has been great. You've been able to meet all the requirements for my family in terms of education, and I see a brighter future as well in the near future in terms of when it comes to my kids and the education plan.
So don't just sit and hope that it will happen. Plan for it. Sit down with professionals like ourselves, and we will help you to project the next 10, 15, 18 years of your children's education, and we start having a game plan on how you can secure the education for your children, regardless of whatever happens in your job, in your life. They will just keep feeding from this pot from that plan that you make. So it's a very
very important, very important. It's key for every family to have this kind of plan. And anybody out there, I would like to really recommend that you put this in place in your families, and NABO would be the best partner.
Investment plan, an education investment plan. So then people might be out there, can already feel the question will be, hey, how do I get started? How do I like what you guys are saying, but how do I get started? How did you start?